गुड इवनिंग, नमस्ते एवरीबॉडी। एक कदम स्वच्छता की ओर, नाम ही अपनी महत्ता बताता है, जिसकी आज हमें अत्यंत जरूरत है। आज के इस प्रोग्राम को हम सभी का हार्दिक स्वागत करते हैं, अभिनंदन करते हैं। आज का प्रोग्राम शुरू करने से पहले हम सभी आए हुए डिग्निटरीज का वेलकम करते हैं और मैं अपनी क्लब प्रेसिडेंट शीतल से अनुरोध करती हूँ कि फ्लैग सैल्यूटेशन करें। सीता जी अनम्यूट करो अपने को। हाँ,
हम अपने राष्ट्रीय झंडे की वंदना करते हैं और उसके प्रति अपनी वफादारी की प्रतिज्ञा करते हैं। हमारे झंडे की शान और प्रतिष्ठा हमारे उस जोश और लगन पर निर्भर है जिसके साथ हम में से हर व्यक्ति एक अच्छे नागरिक होने की जिम्मेदारियां अपने कंधों पे उठाता है। हमारी पताका का स्वर्ण अक्षरों में लिखा हुआ उज्जवल इतिहास हमें प्रोत्साहित करता है कि हम अपने देश को ऊंचा उठाने के लिए अच्छा काम करें। हम अपने झंडे के प्रति अविचल भक्ति की घोषणा करते हैं और प्रण करते हैं कि उसका इष्ट ही हमारा इष्ट होगा। हम में से हर एक व्यक्ति उसकी आन और शान को ऊंचा उठाने के लिए पूरा प्रयत्न करेगा, जिससे कि ये हमारा झंडा सारे संसार में गौरव के साथ लहराता रहे। जय हिंद।
जय हिंद। नाउ आई रिक्वेस्ट वीना डेमला जी टू इंट्रोड्यूस आज के हमारे स्पीकर मोनिशा नारके जी, फाउंडर एंड सीईओ ऑफ RUR GreenLife. Welcome.
Welcome.
I'm Monisha.
Thank you for having me here.
Monisha Narke, founder and CEO of RUR GreenLife Private Limited, is an engineer in electronics from VJTI, Mumbai, and pursued a master's in industrial engineering and management from Stanford University, USA. She is a passionate environmentalist working in providing innovative solutions to maximize recycling of waste to a resource. Awarded as the Engineer of the Year 2017, she has been passionately working towards bringing positive changes through various CSR, EPR, and eco-edutainment programs. She has designed an innovative aerobic biocomposter, which are active across 110 decentralized waste management projects that manages to recycle 500 tons of biodegradable waste into compost annually, increasing green cover. She also drives Go Green Tetra Pak in Mumbai in a strong partnership with Tetra Pak Sehkari Bhandar and Reliance Fresh Stores since 2010, which aims at recycling post-consumer Tetra Pak cartons into school desks for the less privileged schools. I present to you all Monisha Narke. Welcome, Monisha.
Welcome, Monisha.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Yeah, nice to be here today. A very warm good afternoon to everybody. Our Lions Club of Mumbai. Bandra,
Little louder,
Khar.
Monisha. Little
Yeah.
louder.
Is this better? Yeah. So I'm really happy to be here, and it's a great opportunity to connect with all like-minded people from the Lions Club who go that extra mile to work towards the community development and protect the environment around. So today, over the next hour, I'm going to share a little bit about the work done by our organization and sensitize and educate each of you to be champions, to become champions, to lead a change, to become a change maker in your own home, in your community, to drive towards a cleaner and greener planet. So we all, obviously love nature. We love to be amongst the plants, birds, butterflies, and I think that's unanimous with all of us humans. We naturally connect with nature. And today we're going to share about how you can be closer to nature, commune with nature, create and develop a more cleaner and greener planet. And it's on an opportune day because we had Swachhta Bharat Day yesterday. That is 2nd October, Gandhi Jayanti. It's also celebrated a day started by our Prime Minister Narendra Modi as Swachhta Bharat Day. And today, एक कदम स्वच्छता की ओर हम साथ लेंगे. Together we will move towards that direction. So I hope you all are able to see my screen. I'm sharing some slides as well. I will be also talking, and during the session, we request everybody to keep your mics on mute so everybody can hear better. And I'll also be showing a demonstration on another window, on another video. So you'll also get to see some practical demonstrations as we go along. So there'll be a presentation I'll be sharing and also showing you a demonstration. So I hope you enjoy, and feel free to write your questions in the chat box. We take them up at the end of the session, or we try to address it during the session. So I hope all of you are ready to connect with nature, to commune with nature. And I am really thankful to all the president, secretary, and treasurer as well to have invited me, and to Ms. Pinu Damle auntie to warmly welcome me here today. So a little bit about myself and our organization. So I'm a founder of an organization called RUR GreenLife. We're a 10-year-old social enterprise. And just like all of us citizens, I started this mission with a vision to create a cleaner planet for the future children. So I was from my engineering work. I've been designing machines, being an electronics industrial engineer. I was on a sabbatical, taking a break because I became a mother of 2 children. Being with small children when my daughter was 2 and the other one was 4. Now they are 16 and they've grown up 14. But when I started RUR, they were small, and I was very, very concerned to see the changes happening in the environment 10 years ago. Especially, there was a lot more environmental pollution. Children didn't have much spaces to play, open areas. There was a lot of health issues related to air quality. So I felt, as a citizen, what can I do as an individual mother? What should I do for a better future for the children? And that's how the seed was sown. RUR was born. That's RU, reducing, reusing, recycling. We work on 3 R's, and the seed was sown with the vision to have many, many more people protect the environment. So I was very keen that whatever actions we do, our generation, the generations ahead are not impacted, and there's enough resources for them. And so that's how the genesis was happening of the organization, and we work a lot to help and sensitize citizens towards how you can live more sustainably. So what is sustainability? It's a popular word these days. Everybody's using it. It's about how we care of 3 pillars. There are 3 pillars: environmental, so about the air, land, water. Whatever we are doing, are we protecting the air, land, water? Then there's social, which is, are we being fair to people? Is it non-toxic, clean? Is it safe for people? Are we conscious of the health and hygiene and safety of it? Especially now with lockdown, we are all aware that when people are conscious, when we are not going out too much, the air quality is obviously better. You can see better sunsets, clearer skies. So we've all now got a real lesson that humans have a huge impact on the environment, and therefore we now need to be even more conscious in what we do to protect it. So that's basically, we educate people on how to live sustainably. So you take care of the social aspect, the environment aspect, and also how to make it economically viable, because it's very important that the economics also come in place. So the 3 pillars we work on: people, planet, and profitability, so that everybody can keep going with these ideas. So यही है mission, and a lot of today we're going to talk about आप आपके कचरा यानी कूड़ा से क्या कर सकते हैं. What at home level, what in your building, in your office, in your school where your kids go to, what can we each do to make sure that we are not impacting the environment. So some of the work that we do is basically environment education, which is what we're doing here today. Then we are also working on holistically managing home waste or office waste. So all the biodegradable waste, how we can make it into compost, we can recycle it. We'll talk about that today, and how we can help create a kitchen garden, a forest in your own home, and what we can do socially as well. So we work with corporate social responsibility, like corporates or say a Lions Club can do a project together, and you can support waste recycling, say for a Gautan or for a school to make sure. Yeah, so basically this is some of the different work that we do. So as a community, Lions Club can also sign up with us for different recycling drives that we do, like e-waste, Tetra Pak cartons, other waste streams, which actually is difficult to do at individual level. It's easier when people come together because you need that volume to transport the waste to a recycling facility. So we'll talk about that as well in the session today. But the idea is to get more people to participate towards creating a greener environment. So today, let's make it interactive. Please feel free to write in the chat box. So most of you today must have generated some waste, right? Something that you've thrown at home or in your community bin. So what is it what kind of waste you feel that bothers you, that something that you use and you throw and you wish you could have done something about it? Something you did today during the morning, breakfast, lunch, something that you threw in your dustbin. Maybe you can just write it in the chat box so we can see how to help you recycle that waste stream. So everybody can share 1 or 2 or 3 items that you have been depositing and you want to do something about it. So let's make it interactive. Do share your answers into the chat box. So a lot of us today wonder, when we are in our homes, how are we impacting nature? Like, हम क्या कर सकते हैं? हम तो 1 ही किलो कचरा जनरेट करते हैं. हमारा ज़्यादा छोटा फैमिली, हम क्या फर्क कर सकते हैं? What can we do to make a thing? This is a common thing, especially when there are, when we're talking about, like, there's so much waste on the beach, there's so much waste to see on the roads. You wonder, like, okay, what will we do as an individual? And therefore, this is what happens with everybody. They say, okay, the government is asking us to segregate. हम घर में करते हैं, नीचे जाता है, और फिर the waste sweeper mixes it all up. It goes into the truck and it goes. So it anyway gets mixed. So why should I segregate? So this is like a catch-22 situation. Most citizens or communities, especially in buildings, if you want to start, this is what we hear. That what is our one building going to do? The idea is that we are all connected, and the sum of all life form depends on us, and we depend on them. So although we realize that, even that with a spider web, जो जाला हम लोग निकालते रहते हैं wall से, that is also part of this whole ecosystem. In fact, the spiders in your home actually help eat up the mosquitoes and the bugs that could bite you or trouble you. So they are actually playing a role, and therefore, when we say we are connected to nature, we are building a biodiversity. We need to protect it. We need to protect all life forms. And today we're going to tell you how you can build that biodiversity. अपने खुद के खिड़की में you can grow plants, you can grow fruits, vegetables, you can attract birds, bees, butterflies, and you can create a forest, a jungle, and ecosystem. So bringing life forms together, providing them a place to grow and fruit, and therefore be together, especially have to respect all organisms, be it the smallest one to the biggest. Each one has a role to play, and that's how we can, when we work with waste, जब आप पूरा के साथ connect होते हो, you will become closer to nature, because that is how it is. Nature में thrive होता है. That's how the whole ecosystem has been made, and that's why we are able to connect you to this biodiversity, towards protecting it and creating it in your own home through this session. So most of you must have seen this BMC trucks and lots of them moving around the city. Most of us don't like to go near it. We know how the smell aata hai, water leak hota hai, so we are not comfortable. But we can't live without these trucks. They are part of our city, especially in Mumbai. Without which, if aaj wo cleanup truck doesn't come and the waste is lying down in the building, I'm sure there will be panic after 2 days that the truck is not come. What to do, right? Sahi hai ki nahi? If you think yes, can we live without the BMC truck? Yes or no? You can write in the chat box. Can we live without the BMC truck? Yes or no? So most of us are dependent on this system, what the government is providing us to pick up our waste, and therefore we are also supposed to take responsibility not to overstuff them. So if you really know the real facts of the Mumbai waste, every day 1,400 trucks go around daily, and they are transporting 10 metric tons of waste from our buildings, our complexes to Deonar, the landfill in near Govandi. And we all know about the fires that have taken place. which have come back with a lot of smoke and toxic gases back to us. So a lot of our waste actually, what we see in our dustbin, and the data says that one family of 4, and 4 लोग की अगर family होगी, they generate 1 kilogram on average per day of waste, which they put in a bag, they wrap it, and they put it. All of us put it in the dustbin, and then from the dustbin goes to the truck. From the truck it goes to the landfill. So once it reaches the landfill, there's no air, it's packed, and it releases a lot of gases. These are greenhouse gases like methane, carbon dioxide during transportation, nitrous oxide. They actually cause all this climate change. So today what we're doing is about climate action. If we can take responsibility, अपना खुद का कचरा हम ही संभालें, then not dependent on the truck, and we can save all these gases, save all this pollution. And you won't believe, can anybody guess how much money is paid to collect, transport and dump our waste? If you can guess, please write in the chat box how much money do we spend, the government spends actually, to transport our waste in Mumbai alone, in the city of Mumbai, and that is taxpayers' money. You pay property tax, all of us pay taxes, more tax ka paisa goes to every ward, and then the ward uses that money to collect, transport and dump our waste for no purpose, just loss of money. It just gets dumped and becomes gases and causes a lot of pollution, and all the water carries it back into the sea. So anybody can guess how many crores, the numbers in crores. So if I were to tell you the annual budget is 300 crores taxpayers' money just to transport our waste. It's a lot of money, good money, which we don't get a bill, just like a phone bill or a light bill. आपको घर पे waste bill नहीं आता. If you got a waste bill, then you would know that what is the impact of everybody's waste. But waste bill नहीं आता, so we really are not aware, and that's why it's important to become conscious and take responsibility. So how do we handle this? What can we do? We know that there is this scenario, mixing happens and it's being dumped. So what can you and I together do? And this is a classic case of linear economy. From it just gets wasted. Now the world is talking about circular economy. We do apna waste it and we put it back into the ecosystem. Can I bring it back into your hose, like in your house, like Saraswati ji? Can your waste come back into your own house? If you can take your own waste and use it and put it back into your own house, wouldn't it be a circular economy? Wouldn't it fruit something? So what we are going to do is, Jogiji, we are going to take your waste and we are going to make it into something that you can use in your own home. So you don't have to throw it and you have to save the environment. Wouldn't that be cool? Jogiji, you can give us a thumbs up if you think that's cool. Yes, and Saraswati ji too. Okay, great. So nice to hear that you're active and you're ready to take up the responsibility of managing your waste and bringing it back. आप आपका कचरा घर के बाहर ना फेंके, घर के अंदर ही रखिए. Will you do that, Saraswati ji? Not to put it out, but keep it inside. You're sure ना? बास आएगा तो चलेगा ना? नहीं फेंकेंगे, अंदर ही रखेंगे आपके घर के अंदर, और हम आएंगे उसे देखने के लिए. Okay? We'll all members come to Saraswati ji's house and we are going to see the waste there, okay, inside her house. She's not going to throw it out. Are you all ready to do that, everybody? Yes? Okay, great. So this is how today's session we are going to talk about how our team members like Saraswati ji and other members can make sure that they don't take a bag and throw it out, they keep it in the house. That's what we're going to tell you how to do today. So before that, why should we do this? Let me quickly share a poem which we wrote when we went to the landfill. So it's like a turning point. It was an eye-opener for me, and I want this eye-opener to come for you as well and all the members of the club. Me and my friends from RUR went on a trip to Devnath. Not a tree in sight, not a bird to hear, only stench that warns us not to go deep. A bird flies by along a plain, choked by deadly meat. Buffaloes grazing on the brink. Wonder, is that the milky drink? Few of us are bold to climb to reach the top of that grind. The green BMC trucks, the yellow earth movers dot the skyline. We see many little rag pickers smile for our camera figures, from plastic packets to shoe soles, pinches to see our earth's beauty. What a waste of waste! It's our little one's future we kill. Why can't we live without the landfill? So we're going to talk about how we can live without the BMC truck. What can we do to hold nature in our home, and what changes can we make? So step one, What you and I are going to do today is, like, in the chat box, you're going to tell me how many bins you have at home. Do you have one, do you have two, or more? So you can all type how many bins you have at home. If you have one or two, that's also okay. If you have three also, it's okay. But we want to guide you to get maximum recycling, up to 95% recycling. So for 95% recycling, you need to ensure that you at least have 3 bins at home. You don't need physical bins, but you need 3 compartments or 3 sections, right? So first section is your green section, जहाँ पे आपका सब natural waste जाएगा, जो kitchen से निकलता है. All your food, TVs, XLVs, fish bones, food proofs, all that will go in your green bin. Then you have your dry bin, which is all your paper, plastic, metal, glass, full glass, not broken. Things that you can give your रद्दी वाला. हम सब न्यूज़पेपर अच्छे से जमा करते हैं. 10 रुपए किलो में भी give it to the कबाड़ी वाला, right? All our newspaper. It's an old practice. Everybody in India does it. And we respect the newspaper and we collect it well. Same way, all other dry waste also can be recycled and must be collected at home level, dry and separate. Therefore, you need 3. अगर आप 2 ही दिन रखेंगे, गीला सूखा, जो स्वच्छ भारत मिशन बोलते हैं, then there is waste like sanitary napkins, diapers, जो soiled है, जैसे syringes है, then you won't know where to put it. Would you put it in the green bin or put it in the dry bin? That's why you need a separate bin for reject waste. जैसे palm oil का wrapper होगा, it's soiled, it's wet, you can't compost it because it's got paper and a plastic lining on it. If you put it in your dry, all the other plastic paper, Amazon packing will get dirty and then it will be difficult. Then moisture goes in, it becomes difficult to give it to the kabadi wala. He won't take it. So even your milk packets, all this waste has to be cleaned and kept separately. And only the reject, you have to reduce the reject. So 3 bin, is it clear? Is it clear for starting step? 3 bins, yes. So once you have your 3 bins, then what do? Right? Most of us today have 3 separate bins, but then we do not know what to do about it. Because if you say the government is going to do something, they have a lot of ways to deal with. And now with COVID, trust me, the government is stretched thin. There is a lot of medical waste that they have to deal with, and all people are mixing waste. So nobody, and the waste management has gone for a toss because people are throwing disposable masks, shields, and PPEs, and all this mixing into dry waste. And then the sweeper community is very scared to even handle it or sort it. So COVID has created another big problem for waste management, and therefore it is very, very important at this time now that we take care of our own waste. We handle it at home level, or you can do it at your building. If you have a society of 10 flats, 100 flats, 200, you can bring your whole society together, or you can do it at Lions Club level, where Bandra, Khar का एक group करके collection center बना सकते हैं. We can do it that way. The idea is that we manage as much as possible of our waste. So what do we do with our wet waste? Right? The first step is the wet waste. So I'm going to show you now a demonstration. So we will go to the demo. I will hold the screen for you for now, and I'll show you practically how to do it, right? So what I'm going to show you now on another window is आपका जो घर का गीला कचरा है, which is your wet waste. How can we make it into compost? And this you can do it in your own home. You don't need anybody's help. आज हम आपको बताएंगे how you can do it. So you don't need to ask for anybody's help. So first thing is आपका जो भी गीला कचरा होगा उसे अलग करें. So that is your chai patti. If you are having chai patti, you put it in a chhanni and थोड़ा सा पानी डाल के sugar निकाल दें. If it's got sugar in it, because sugar will attract ants. So anything sugar or your curry, you put it in a chhanni and remove. Anything else like your banana peels, other fruit peels, vegetable peels like cucumber peels, carrots, all this can be, yeah. So Prathamesh, can you highlight Sakshi's screen because she's doing the demonstration now, so everybody can look at the wet waste. So this I hope you can see it well, Saraswati ji, the wet waste. Yeah. So this is your kitchen waste. ये सुबह का निकला हुआ है. इसी को you have to keep it separate. Once you keep it separate, you need two other components. You need dry leaves like this, सूखे पत्ते which you can get in your building compound. Or if you don't have सूखा पत्ता, नारियल का भूसा, coconut husk. Okay, so coconut husk you can, it's available also online, or you can collect it from your coconuts if you eat a lot of coconut at home. But this is a balance. So for composting, we're going to show you how you can compost at home or in your building. You need kitchen waste. Step 1, you need anything dry, either dry leaves, coconut peels, or you need something called sawdust, bhusa. So it's lakde ka bhusa. It's again a natural resource which has got carbon content, which is dry natural, and the wet is got moisture and it's got nitrogen in it. So we're taking nitrogen and we're taking carbon. And now what we're doing is we have to look for a aerated space. So composting requires ATM, not anytime money. Anytime money we all need, but composting requires air, temperature, moisture. So has everybody gone to a forest recently? Maybe you can say if you have. Which forest have you been in the chat box, so everybody knows if you've gone to, not recently, but in the last year. Nobody's traveled for 6-8 months this time, but in the last year, if you have gone to a forest, jungle में आप अगर गए होंगे, you must have seen that the leaves fall, fruits fall. There is no PMC गाड़ी there. There is no sweeper in the jungle. जंगल में मंगल ही है, सब गिरता है नीचे, मट्टी में जाता है, अपने आप खाद तैयार हो जाता है. हमें आपके घर में जंगल बनाना है और इस सेशन में आपको मंगल रखना है. That's the idea. So you take all your wet waste and you can grow a garden like this. I'm showing you my garden. जो कचरा था, जो बोले कि आप घर से बाहर मत डालें, घर पे ही रखें, you can take your wet waste and make it into, I'm showing you my pudina, which is some from the compost that is made from the wet waste, and the lemongrass, and see even bhindis. We are growing bhindis in our house. So bhindis you can grow in your window. You can grow pudina, tomato, basil. Just amazing from your kitchen waste. You don't need anything else. Kitchen waste, some dry leaves, and you can make a jungle in your own home. Would you like to make a jungle in your own home? Give me a thumbs up if you do. So that's what we're going to do. All your wet waste, you take it and you need to provide it air, temperature, moisture. 3 ingredients, ATM. So you need to keep it in an aerated location. आप आपके घर के अंदर यानी kitchen के sink के नीचे नहीं रख सकते. You need to keep it in a window grill. So any window grill, any passage area you have where there's some airflow, that's where you locate your composter. So how to compost? There are many composters available. I'm going to show you our composter, but before that, I'm going to show you a basic composting, which is the bucket composting. Okay, so for the bucket composting, you just need an old bucket from your house like this, and at the bottom, you make about 10-12 holes. So at the bottom, you just make few holes and keep it ready. And then this bucket you keep in your window grill. Okay. And then every day you add your wet waste. Just put it inside. You don't have to do anything. Add your wet waste like this into the bucket, rows ka. Okay, and 1/3. Suppose you have 1 bowl of wet waste. You crush some leaves. Okay, like this. You crush your leaves and you add leaves on top. That's all. Leaves, or you put cocoa. 1/3 by volume. So if you have 1 bucket of wet waste, 1/3 by volume. यानी उसका 1/3 माप का आप भूसा या पत्ते डालें. पत्ते को थोड़ा क्रश करें because they are hardy and they occupy space. So all chicken, meat, fish bones, eggshells सब डाल सकते हैं. Cooked food, rice, चाय की पत्ती, coffee grounds, eggshells, everything that you नींबू के छिलटे, all your kitchen waste except full coconuts, because full coconuts are not fit in the bucket. They are technically compostable, but they take time. You have to crush it. So everything else, even corn cobs, mango seeds, this way you add your dry and you balance it. And then all you have to do is, once you add it, you mix it once a day. Just mix it from the up like this. You mix it once a day. So that it, why mix? Why do you think we need to mix it? Any guesses? You can write in the chat box why you think we need to mix it. So if we mix it well, then we cover it up, okay, with You can cover it with a net, with a mesh, or with kapda, whatever is easy. You can just cover it so that it allows air to go in, but you're not blocking it. So any cotton kapda, jute ka sack, or if you don't have a net, you can use that. But ideally, if you get a fruit basket, ka ulta bhag, you put it on that, and that's it. And every day you keep adding. The bucket will fill. Once the bucket fills, you at least need 2 buckets. Two is a company, 2 हाथ से ताली बजती है. So composting at least requires 2, minimum 2 buckets. So you start with 1, say you fill it up in 10 days. Then it will keep filling, don't worry. You think how many 10 bags of waste I'll put, but trust me, it will keep coming down. Why do you think the waste comes down and down and down? Anybody can guess this answer? Why do you think the waste will come down and down? You take another bucket, another 15 days, you fill it up. This bucket will get ready in 15 days, and once it's ready, it will become compost. And I'll show you how the compost will look. Your kitchen waste will turn into something which is very crumbly, earthy. जो forest में जाके आपको खुशबू आती है ना, वो आएगी. So we say, अरे when we put our कचरा in the waste, if I let you leave it in the house, एक दिन 2 दिन छोड़ेंगे आपको बास आएगा. You get methane smell because there is no oxygen. Moment you put oxygen in, you get this crumbly compost which is very lightweight. And even if you hold it in your hand and you dust it, it won't stick. It's very light compared to soil. See, I'm touching it and it's just crumbly. This is hard, this is compost जो आप घर पे ही बना सकते हैं. And that's how the process is very simple. And I'll show you now the machine. So the machine is available as an option, but you can start in a bucket. So for those who feel the bucket is like a little intensive, this is a aerobic composter. So what we have here, we're going to show you is the aerobic composter, right? Which is basically has a simple lid. आप stainless steel का lid है. You open the lid up, and then inside. Okay? And once you add your kitchen waste inside, then you close it, and you mix it. We have a gear-based mechanism, and this system is available on Amazon also. This is simple. You just rotate it once, twice a day. That's all. Or after you start adding once, thrice a week is enough. And you lock it. It's got a locking mechanism. And what is the unique feature? We have actually filed a patent for this, Indian patent. It's also Green Co certified by the Green Building Council because of these smart air ventilators. Okay, we have 2 air ventilators. They allow oxygen to go into the system. So it's a closed loop system. Why is it closed? So that no rats get attracted or ants. In an open system, there is a chance if you have a rat issue in your building, then the rats may come because they come for food. In this, it's closed, so the rats don't come. The water doesn't leak out. So it's a closed loop system. We have a drain valve at the bottom. So I ask this question, why do you think you can keep adding your wet waste daily and you will then not fill up the bucket? That is because 80% of our food has water. Just like our bodies have 80% water, the food has 80% water. There's a lot of water in the food. And as the water comes out through the drain valve, the quantity becomes less. So अगर आप रोज का 1 kilo wet waste डाल दें 30 days, it takes 30 to 45 days to make compost. After 45 days, you will only get, which is रोज का 1 kilo is 30 kilos, only 3 kilos of compost. So 30 kilos will become 3 kilos. बाकी का जो waste है सब पानी में evaporate हो जाएगा. So that's why every day when you transport 30 kilos, you're creating so many gases when you put it in the truck. If अगर आप अपने खुद के घर में करो, you're not transporting, you're saving carbon, and you're getting very less compost, and you can grow your own fruits and vegetables. So that is about the system. It's very easy to use. It's closed loop. The frame and all is stainless steel, so it's rust proof, and you can easily compost and grow all your own vegetables at home. You can create a forest in your window, and if you don't want to do it at home and you want to do it with your whole building, there are larger models available. You can take a larger system, say 10 flats, 20 flats, 30 flats. I'll show you. You can do it at a larger scale. So Composting can be done at home composting or community composting. So thank you. That was my daughter who helped us with the demonstration. So you could see. Now we will not unpin that video, and I'll quickly just recap what we saw. So we saw a bucket composting. We saw how waste can be done. So composting is basically a natural cycle. It goes through active stage, cooking stage, and curing stage. 3 stages होते हैं. So every day when you add your wet waste, it's active, right? जब भर जाता है, then you move to another bucket. That time it goes into cooking. जैसे आप rice बनाते हो at home, it takes a little experiment, right, to get the rice texture of rice. So with composting, it takes 1, 2, 3 cycles. In 2-3 months, you will become a master of it. A lot of people say baas aata hai, leaks hote hain, maggots come. They all come because they eat the food. They are actually photosensitive. They'll never come out. They come inside the pile. They are, as I showed you in the first slide, they are nature's gift to us. So a lot of people don't do composting because they think the bugs are there. But the bugs are part of the biodiversity. They are ensuring that your waste breaks down and becomes hard. So you will find few little maggots. They are friends of compost. They are like earthworms. They never come out. They are photosensitive, so they stay inside. They do their job and they become compost. So you have nothing to worry. Smell, yes, smell can come when the system is not balanced or if there's no air. Why does smell come? If I pack my waste and keep, it's going to smell because there's no oxygen. So you need to give it oxygen. Therefore, you need to mix it and add what I told you, dry leaves or cocoa peat. That will allow balance. So as I showed you the small demonstration model, there are bigger models. So it comes like shirt sizes, XS, S, M, L. So if you have like a family or building with 100 families or 150 families, they will approximately generate 100 kilograms of biodegradable waste. They will need 12, these blue tumblers, you see 12 of those in the building. You will need to do 100 kilos. If you have 50 families, you need 4M. So like that, you can do it on your building terrace, in the compound, near the car park, at community level. But sometimes some buildings have some construction going on or people are not ready to compost in their premise, then you can do it at home level. But the idea is it is odor free, it is clean, hygienic, safe, and the composting goes through a high temperature also, up to 60 degrees. अगर आप हाथ डालेंगे ना तो आपको warm लगेगा. That makes it very safe for you. There are no unknown vectors, all the pathogens also die. So it's very safe and you get the compost out, it's healthy and you can grow your own kitchen garden. So all you need to do is give it oxygen, that is air, temperature and moisture, and you will be able to balance the gases and then you will get compost. So no smell or those issues will come. It is a very natural process. You don't need to know the science, but just to let you know, that's a basic exothermic reaction, basic science. So it will never fail. It will work if you put the ingredients right. It will always work because it's a well thought through natural scientific process. So therefore, you can do it. Even small children do it in schools. Like this auntie is actually living in Khar. So I put her photograph. I'm not sure the name of the building, but she lives right in Khar. And she's composting at home, and this is her terrace. A chat box, people know which building, and you may want to go see it after lockdown. It's in Khar, so you can visit her and see. She's been practicing composting for a long time, and this is how the compost comes out. And now at the community level, how do they do it? This is a building, Matoshri Pearls in Mahi. Once the lockdown is over, you're most welcome to visit. Get 65 flats and they generate about 35 to 40 kilograms of biodegradable waste every day, which for last 3 years, they completed the 3rd year. Yesterday, they had in fact a felicitation for the staff who do composting. Itna wo committed hai wo building mein, log green champions are there. Like they have come yesterday as a group on Swachhta Bharat Day, all wearing masks, and they recognized their staff who's doing this as a tribute to them. Every Swachhta Bharat Day, 2nd October, was the day the project was inaugurated, so they recognize them. And this is how we monitor the pH temperature. So it's done very scientifically. But just to tell you, the pH in the beginning is high and then it stabilizes. It's low and then it stabilizes at neutral and you sit. So for if you put 14 tons and 14,000 kilos they put every year of their kitchen waste, they get only 3,000 kilos. That is only 10 to 15% compost. And they save so much of carbon dioxide by preventing transport. This is their building on the terrace. This is on the 23rd floor, right near the sea. So it's been working very well. They have a little roof, a shed for rain, and that's their terrace garden. It's been working all through the lockdown. And all children also actively involve themselves in the project. So the process is very simple. Ghar mein you do 3 bin segregation as shown here. Once the waste is segregated, your housekeeping staff can be trained to add the wet waste into the composter. After 30-45 days, they harvest it, then they sieve it, or they directly put it in this dudi and turi and beautiful vegetables, pomegranates grow on their terrace. In Mumbai, in Mumbai, you can visit anytime. They have been doing it for 65 families. So if you would like to start it in your building, feel free to write to us. We will help you to start the project in your building. Even if you want to do it at home, you can start it at home. But this way, 70% of your waste. Saraswati ji, I told you, don't throw your waste out. So will you keep it at home and start composting? Last, we will all come and see it then. Okay. So we can not throw the waste out. We can keep it at home and we can make compost. 70% of our waste. So all that takes care of your kitchen waste. Then you have the dry paper, plastic, metal. For this, we recommend separating it. The more you separate, the higher recycling, and you can recycle it into different products. So this is composting larger community projects. Like this is for about 80 families, 1 family, 30 families. You need 2, and this is how the people make different setups in their own building. And like you can do it right in the entrance, right in the corridor. It's quite safe and clean. So for the dry waste, like I'll show you, I have this Tetra Pak milk carton. We run a program to recycle Tetra Pak cartons. So here you will see there's a recyclable logo on Tetra Pak carton. So Amul, Chas, Lassi, Frutu, Tropicana, Real, Fruity, all these cartons you can, after you use it, rinse it, open it, rinse it, lift the flaps, flatten it, and you can deposit it. These bins are at all Sarkari Bhandar stores. So we have Sarkari Bhandar Bandra, near Bandra station, the Reliance Acme store near Kiranagar. That also is in Santa Cruz. There's one at Juhu, JVPD, near Kalaniketan. There also there are these recycling bins. So anywhere between Bandra and Bandra, we have it at St. Andrew's Church, St. Peter's Church. All these places have these recycling bins. A lot more places in Bandra and Khar. Actually, we have almost 30-40 places where you can collect your cartons and put it into the bin, cut, clean, flatten, and we make benches and give it to needy children. School desks, garden metal. This is how it looks. You see the colors, it's on the cartons. But what they do is these cartons, we send it to the factory and they make a chutney out of it, like a pulp. Okay, it has paper, plastic, metal. Maximum paper, 75% paper. Paper which is grown in forests which are certified by the Forest Stewardship Council. So this is a sustainable forest where the trees are protected and regrown, so it's sustainable. Now this paper and then makes a chutney, then under high temperature pressure it's compacted into a sheet like this, and we can make pen stands, tables, chairs, everything. In fact, this is the factory process. So all the cartons which you deposit at Sarkari Bhandar Reliance Fresh, I don't know if any of you are already depositing. Can you say yes in the chat box? We are depositing cartons because I think this program is running a lot in Bandra and Khar. So many may be already participating. If you're already participating, give us a thumbs up. So it'll be nice for the members to know who's already doing it. And if you're not, you can join the program by collecting and depositing it. This is how it goes. It goes onto a conveyor, and then there's a machine which presses it down and makes sheets. And the sheets are then used to make different furniture and these kind of different products can be made. And guess what? The biggest application is something you already sat on. The recycled materials all around, you just don't know it. it's your rickshaw. All the rickshaws that you sit on, the seat, the piche ka seat, the seat is all made from this carton and it's given for recycling. So if we segregate at source and we convert it into something valuable, the applications are many. Like the rickshaw you sit on is actually fully recycled, the seat. Then there are lots of school desks. And all the paper pulp that is collected is used to make a chai ka dabba. And all these Colgate boxes are all made from recycled cartons. So in fact, this is an amazing program we're running for 10 years now in Mumbai, where every Mumbaiker can deposit your cartons cut, clean, flattened at the nearest recycling centers, which are there in the Sakari Bana Reliance Fresh store. You can even start it in your building. You can start it at your club level. We can help put that together. And so this is some magic with waste. I just want to give you an idea of waste se kitna kya banta hai. One more thing, simple recipe you can do, because a lot of us use a lot of these Harpicks, Collins and all these cleaning agents at home, which are very harmful for the skin and the water stream. So instead of buying a lot more plastic cleaners, you can actually opt to make your own cleaner. So this is the one I made some time back. So I'll just show it to you, but it's a simple thing. You just need to use lemon peels, like as you can see in this. I don't know if you can see the, let me try. It's like lemon peels, okay, or Mosambi peels or orange peels, and you put it in a jar like this, a 2-liter jar. Take 300 grams of lemon, okay, so it's 3 parts of your peel and 1 part of sugar, that is brown sugar you can take or jaggery, and 10 parts of water. So what I've done in this kind of a jar, I put 300 grams. So like how you weigh for cakes, you can weigh 300 grams lemon, put 100 grams of brown sugar and 1 liter of water. And you date, I put a date here. You see the date? You date the jar. And every day for the first week, you open the jar daily just for few seconds. Then the next week on, you open it alternate, like you can open it alternate day. Then after 1 month, you open it once a week. So in 3 months, you will get your own cleaning enzyme like this, okay? Which you can use to put for plants. It's a pest repellent, or to enhance your plant growth. It's good for floor cleaning. I use it a lot for floor cleaning, toilet cleaning, dishwashing, many applications, multi-purpose homemade cleaner. So this is also available, but you can make it at home. It's a very easy recipe. I make it and then I keep making and then using it, and you have to dilute and use it. So this 1 liter, I will dilute it 10 times and use it. So it is a good quantity for me to use across a couple of months. It takes 3 months to make, like achar, you make it and then you use it. So hopefully all of you will try your own cleaning enzyme. That way you will save buying more plastic bottles from outside and throwing them. So the idea is that trash, I told you that red bucket in the beginning, the idea is to reduce that. So you can look for alternatives, like more sustainable products which are made where the environment is not impacted, like bamboo, recycled products, cloth bags instead of plastic, home cleaning for your hair, make your own arita plant instead of buying shampoos and lots of shampoos and shampoo bottles. So a lot of it is also about reducing our waste. The first R I said, refuse or reduce. That's first, then reuse, then recycle comes last. So you can look for these bamboo and all these products available on our website, www.rur.co.in, and just make a conscious choice. Just wear a green hat and think about your waste. कौन सा waste generate हो रहा है, कौन सा कम कर सकते हैं, क्या recycle कर, because एक कदम स्वच्छता की ओर है. You have to take one step at a time and start with it. So these are some simple food for thought. I'm hoping that all members and whoever is here and whoever is not here, maybe we can share this with them so that they can also start like segregation at source, start composting, start collecting your Tetra Pak cartons and recycling. Opt for a reusable face mask. Please remember that the disposable face masks are a huge problem for everybody. The government really doesn't know what to do with them. We don't have incineration capacities. So unless you're in the hospital or it's a medical requirement, you may need to have an N95 or protective. All of us need basic cloth masks. You can wash it 100 times and use it. Wash in the night, wear it again. That way you'll save these one-time disposable shields and all those extra things that people are opting for. Opt for reusable stuff like reusable cloth bags, reusable masks. They go a long way towards Swachhta and towards protecting our environment. So I hope you all enjoyed. It was a recap, and we'll be happy to take questions. And while we are at the question box, I'm going to ask a riddle for you to guess which plant it is. So fastest finger first, कौन बनेगा green? हम खेलेंगे आज Lions Club के साथ. कौन बनेगा green? Can you guess which this plant is and write it in the chat box? What do you think this plant is? Any guesses? You can write in the chat box. Yeah, anyone guess? Okay, there are some guesses coming in, so we'll give the answers at the end. What do you think is this plant, the next plant? Can you guess this plant? Fastest finger first. And this one.
Kari patta.
Any more guesses? Yes, the first one is pomegranate.
Oh.
Then it's kari patta.
Hmm.
The first one.
What's
Yeah.
the third one?
First one, and the third one is tomatoes.
Oh.
Oh, chilies, sorry. Chilies.
Chilies. Okay.
Yes. So we have some people who've replied. Since I'm screen sharing, I'll be able to see the chat box once I close it. So here it is. This is what we've achieved so far. So many, people like you, we've done a lot of workshops online, offline, reached out to lakhs of people, and we've had a significant impact. What we've done is we've not really reduced the trucks or reduced the landfill yet. Unfortunately, it's a still lambi journey. हम अभी भी एक कदम पे ही हैं, but the idea is we've got a lot of people to participate. A lot of buildings in Mumbai are doing it. Like almost now we are at 140 projects. We've expanded to Chennai. We have a project in Vijayawada, in Andhra Pradesh, in Delhi, so out of Bombay. And I'm happy to share that recently we launched a project in Malaysia also, and we've sent some of our products to Germany. So we're exporting a little bit now. A small organization, but the idea is to get more in their community and grow their own kitchen gardens. We want people to basically grow green so that you can help protect the environment. And through all our recycling programs, we can recycle school desks, chairs, tables, and donate it to needy children. And we also have created a lot of livelihood because when you do composting at home or in your society, the waste pickers who were earlier just having to sort your waste and throw it now have an extra job. They have livelihood and they feel very proud when they get segregated waste to make the khad, to grow the plants. So a lot of these waste picker communities, over a couple of hundred in Mumbai, we have empowered and trained. So that's my honor and pride that the waste picker community, we've given them a lot of dignity of labor and recognize their work. And when they bring the khad and they grow a tomato, everybody in the building gives them a salute. So, from managing waste to throwing kachra, now they are making kachra valuable, which all citizens like. So they also get a really high on this. And that's really the power of working here, that they're able to create livelihoods for people who work downstream in the waste. And that's really a key in the social side of this. So some of the work that we've done has been recognized by the Solid Waste Association of North America. अभी इंडिया को recognize करने में थोड़ा time लग रहा है, but North America has given us a beautiful award, the first time given to an Indian company. So we're really honored to have that. We got some funding also from the US. So a lot of our work we've showcased on international platform, so it gets more recognized and we can achieve a lot more. So we brought a lot of technology. We realized that this space was not giving its, it was just an unorganized sector. We tried to organize it and make people realize the importance, the value, and even the government now is giving a property tax waiver. So you get a waiver from the government up to an incentive for the building to do this because your property tax will come down. The government in Mumbai at least, BMC, MCGM is giving this property tax waiver. So there's the benefit of that. So I thank you all for your time, patience, and beautiful participation. I saw everybody very interested and excited. So very happy to be here. Thank Neenu ji for inviting me, and to the Lions Club of Bandra and Khar for having this session. And you can connect and stay tuned with us on our website, on Instagram, it's RUR GreenLife, on Facebook as well. We will be recording and putting this up on the Facebook page, so you can share it and ask more people to watch it and join us to spread this movement far and wide. So really nice to have you all in this segment, and I'll be happy to take any questions that you all have. If anybody wants to ask any questions, how to do or something, I will be happy to answer those questions. We'll probably put it in the chat box.
You want it in the chat box, or should I ask you a question, Monisha?
One or two can ask. Yes, please ask. A small group, I don't think there'll be an echo. We can ask.
Yeah, I would like to know one thing. In Bombay, if you really implement this project, it's a wonderful project. And if you really very seriously, everybody implements this project, there could be a big amount of fertilizers that will get generated over a period of time. And I'm also aware that Excel Industries, and there are some industries which are which have certain electrical equipments. Within 10 days, they manufacture these fertilizers. But where fertilizers are really needed are just outside Bombay, where they have vegetables growing, little after Virar. Now, but in Virar, I have tried, and we have an adopted village, and I have given one of these rotating manufacturing things, hand rotated one, but they don't seem to generate too much of waste. While we within Bombay, we generate lot more waste than, while there is this fertilizer that gets generated in Mumbai has to be used outside to make it more in a better way. It can be utilized. So how can it be transported from here?
Yes.
And what is an incentive for the societies to sell that product?
Sure. So yeah, nice that you shared it as a question, because there are multiple questions in your question. So I really appreciate, and I'm really happy that you already have adopted a village. I'm actually living at my farm here, just 3 hours away from Mumbai because of the lockdown. And we have a couple of 100 trees, and I know how much khad matti is needed for a farm. So it's a lot. So first question is that yes, the composting process is a natural process and it generates compost. So when it generates compost, as I said, only 10% or 15% of yield comes out, right? So when you put X, you get only 10% of X out. So we are running almost 150 projects in Mumbai with from 10 families to 100. So we have one at Sand Pebbles, if you know Sand Pebbles at Carter Road. We have one at Supreme Pearls. A lot of projects in Khar and Bandra and Mahi. So these buildings actually, they when they generate their own compost, we encourage them to use it there and there. There is really none of our projects that have so much excess to sell. In fact, when we ask them, they say, "Hum hamare building mein use karenge," because they want to increase green cover. They want to do terrace gardening, and almost every 15 days I've been gardening on my terrace in Mumbai for last 10 years. You need khad every 1 month. So to answer your question, will we have excess compost? Not really. You may have some quantity excess if you really don't have a green building, green space in your building. But if you have enough green, there's enough spots in Mumbai to fill. Now, yes, farms need compost. So we had a project, Planet Godrej in Baikana. They have about 350 flats. It's a big project. They generate almost, they compost in 300, 400 kilos. So they have a lot of green also area, but they have excess compost. So what we did, we sent it to a farm. We got an order from a farm in Lonavala, we help our customers get their connected to farmers, and they have used. So actually, yes, the farmers can buy this, and it can be transported if you have a larger car. If you're a big building, then yes, the viability is there to transport it, because you do it in 800,000 kilos, at least it should be. Also, the government, as I said, municipal corporation is actually supporting this Khar, sending reverse logistics. So when the vegetables come from the farm, your ward, if you go to the ward officer, the PMC in your local ward will help you to return. Of course, they won't pay money, but they will take the compost and give it to a needy farm that will use it. So the government is also, because they're encouraging societies to compost, they're also offering this reverse logistics free, where your excess compost can go. But as I said, if you have enough garden space, you won't have excess compost. That's the first step. The third question, why the farm that you've adopted at Virar is not composting. So this is an urban problem. We in the cities have a lot of wet waste, and we have everything concrete. So when we have everything concrete, we don't have soil to put our kitchen waste in. And therefore, we need a machine, a composter, or a bucket, or a system, or even an Excel system to help create compost, because everything is concrete. But jo village mein hai na, they have enough soil. Like my farm, we have 8 acres here, and I don't have a machine here. I also put my wet waste in the ground, because there is enough soil. Aapne aap wo compost tayar ho jata hai. There's no use of a machine. That's why the village where you've given, maybe they don't, because it makes sense for them to just put it directly into the ground. And of course, the challenge with Excel machines is that it's an electrical machine. So it takes up a lot of power because it sheds the waste. You need a lot of sawdust in that technology. And in Mumbai, if you have it for building, the OPEX, that is the operational cost, is almost 30,000 rupees a month. So to run a machine to generate compost, which is a natural process, it doesn't make sense to use electricity and power. So a lot of the buildings which have Excel in Mumbai also, they don't use it because the operational cost is too high and the electricity consumption is too high. The Virar farm, maybe they have an electricity issue. So they may not be willing to use the machine because it's a high-speed motor. It shreds all your waste. You have to add sawdust, and then in 10 days they give you khad. Yes, they say they give you khad in 10 days, but that is not your khad. It's a misnomer. The villagers will not use it. That's a limitation of the Excel machine. It consumes a lot of power. It adds a lot of bhusa in the process, and therefore the farmers may feel not intrusive to use it. But yeah, so I hope I've answered your questions. But the idea is that once the first step is start composting, everybody asks us this question, what to do with compost? Honestly, compost is like gold. I call it green gold. And I'm sure at some time it will be traded on the stock market as gold. So if you're making it, take the value of gold and just use it in your own kitchen, in your own window, in your own terrace, in your street plants. Adopt these plants on the Khar roads or Bandra roads. Put your compost there, put it in the garden. Try to use it in situ, because we don't want to create more carbon dioxide taking the compost out. Already when we transport our waste, we are taking a lot of carbon dioxide transportation. So and we need to remediate our land. See, what is happening is our soil is losing its nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. जब हम बाहर से fertilizer खरीदते हैं, most buildings buy, they're not organic fertilizer. You're buying chemical based like urea and all. They're again very toxic. They're contaminating the ground. So ideally, if we compost, we will get natural, organic, 100% safe grown plants. So I would advise that start composting and create enough green space to use the compost. That would be the idea, to send it to the farms. Definitely we can help in that. So there's a lot more excess compost. I hope I answered that question.
Yes, thank you so much.
Any other questions? We've addressed some of the questions in the chat box. But if anybody has any other questions, if you societies in Mount Mary, and surely connect with you on email. So maybe if you can email us, it's info@rur.co.in with your society name and your phone number.
Thank you, Manisha ji. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल आई वुड लाइक टू वेलकम हमारे डिस्ट्रिक्ट गवर्नर आए हैं शशिकांत जी। सर थैंक यू वेरी मच फॉर ज्वाइनिंग अस, मे बी लेट, अपने इतने बिजी शेड्यूल में आप हमारे साथ आए हैं, थैंक यू सो मच ना। हमारे नितिन पुरकर जी, हमारे रीजन चेयरपर्सन भी हमें ज्वाइन किए हुए हैं। सरस्वती जी, आप सभी का बहुत बहुत तहे दिल से शुक्रिया, आने के लिए धन्यवाद, और हमें ज्वाइन करने से, हमें उत्साहित करने के लिए आपका बहुत बहुत थैंक्स यू। एंड आज की हमारी स्पीकर मनीषा नारके जी, रियली ब्यूटीफुल, इतने सरल और सुंदर ढंग से आपने हमें लेडीज को घर में कैसे खाद बनाए और अपने छोटे छोटे पौधे, अपनी सब्जियां और तुलसी का पौधा, मिर्ची का पौधा कैसे हम अपने घर में लगा सकते हैं। थैंक यू सो मच, दिस रियली वंडरफुल। आई वुड लाइक टू थैंक मिस्टर मोरडिया जी ऑल्सो आए हुए हैं, और राम भाई, ऑल द गेस्ट दो जिन्होंने हमें आज ज्वाइन किया है, उनका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद करते हैं। लास्ट बट नॉट लीस्ट, आई वुड लाइक टू थैंक ऑल माय मेंबर्स एंड ऑल द गेस्ट, जिनके आने की वजह से हमारी ये आज की मीटिंग, आज का ये प्रोग्राम कितना सफल रहा। और मैं आपको विश्वास दिलाती हूँ, हमारे बहुत सी लेडीज ये अपने घर की किचन का छोटा सा गार्डन जरूर बनाएंगे, जबकि हमने इतना सुंदर ये सब देखा है।
अनम्यूट किया।
किसको अनम्यूट किया है? हेलो डीजी सर, आप हमें,
हाँ जी बोलिए।
आप हमें आशीर्वाद देना चाहेंगे? दो यूर एंड ऑफ द मीटिंग।
यस यस
प्लीज सर, वुड बी हैप्पी टू लिसन टू यू, प्लीज।
यस यस। सो आज हमारे लायंस क्लब ऑफ बैंड्रा खार के प्रेसिडेंट प्रेमलता जी, और आज हमारी आज की स्पीकर मनीषा जी, और डिस्ट्रिक्ट से पधारे सभी लोग, चेयरपर्सन नितिन पुरकर जी, सरस्वती शंकर जी, और क्लब के सभी मेंबर्स। एक्चुअली मैं दूसरी एक मीटिंग में था और मैं ध्यान से बाहर निकल गया था मेरा।
यस सर, आई कैन एग्री।
तो जैसे मैंने देखा तो याद आया मेरे को, मैंने आपको तुरंत फोन किया कि भाई मीटिंग चालू है कि पूरी हो गई। मेरे को लगा शायद पूरी हो गई, 4:30 बजे का टाइम था।
यस वी हैव स्टार्टेड 4:30।
मुझे लगता है मनीषा जी ने काफी अच्छी तरह से आप लोग को एक्सप्लेन किया, और वो एक्सप्लेनेशन में ज्यादा टाइम लगा, इसके लिए हम लोग मिल पाए, तो शायद आपकी मीटिंग पहले पूरी हो जाती थी।
नहीं ये सर बहुत ब्यूटीफुल इन्होंने हमें बताया।
हाँ, जो अभी आपने जो बताया कि जिस प्रकार से लेडीज के लिए और घर पे जो हम लोग किस प्रकार से इसको मैन्यूर क्रिएट कर सकते हैं, हमारी खुद के घर के खाने की सब्जी और फल के छिलके से, और उसके कारण जो हम लोग जो खाद तैयार कर सकते हैं, वो एक अच्छा इनिशिएटिव है। मैंने इसके बारे में पहले भी बहुत सुना है और बहुत लोगों ने इसको किया भी है, एंड द रिजल्ट्स आर फैंटास्टिक। घर के अंदर लोगों ने इतने अच्छे अच्छे प्लांटेशन किए हुए हैं, और द रिजल्ट इज डेफिनेटली वेरी गुड। और मैं समझता हूँ जो आज मनीषा जी ने आपको बताया है, यू आर ऑल्सो गोइंग टू टेक द बेनिफिट आउट ऑफ इट, और आप लोग उसको इम्प्लीमेंट करने की पूरी कोशिश करेंगे। जैसा कि हमारा सर्विस वीक, अक्टूबर सर्विस वीक चल रहा है, समर्पण सर्विस वीक हमने कहा है, इसको नाम दिया है। कल इसका हमने इनॉग्रेशन किया था, और काफी अच्छा लोगों का पार्टिसिपेशन रहा। और इस पेंडेमिक में भी मैं देख रहा हूँ कि जो लोगों का उत्साह है, हमारी मैक्सिमम क्लबें अच्छे अच्छे प्रोजेक्ट कर रही है, बहुत अच्छा प्लानिंग किया हुआ है। और मैं समझता हूँ बैंड्रा खार ने भी बहुत सारे अच्छे प्लानिंग किए हुए हैं। डेफिनेटली मैं यही कहूँगा कि इस पेंडेमिक में आप लोग जो भी प्रोजेक्ट कर रहे हैं वो संभाल के कीजिए, और बाहर ना निकले ज़्यादा। अगर बाहर किसी को जाना है तो क्लब में जो यंगस्टर्स हैं उनको बाहर भेज के आप प्रोजेक्ट कीजिए, अपनी सेहत का ध्यान रखते हुए प्रोजेक्ट कीजिए। सर्विस करना जरूरी है, सर्विस कैसे की जाए वो आपको उसका तरीका नया निकालना पड़ेगा और काम करना पड़ेगा। और बस आप लोग सभी इसी प्रकार से सेवा में जुड़े रहें और अच्छा काम करते रहें। इन्हीं शब्दों के साथ मैं आप सभी का खूब धन्यवाद देना चाहता हूँ। थैंक यू वेरी मच।
Thank you,
मनीषा जी, once again thank you so much, really we are so glad। बहुत अच्छा आपने हमें बताया। और मैं तो पक्का आपको सब्जी उगा के बताऊंगी।
जरूर।
सब्जी हमको भी भेज देना।
या भिंडी लगाऊंगी, भिंडी।
Just a question, Monisha.
बढ़िया।
Yes.
Monisha, can we do a biocompost with a branding of Lions Club or something and keep it in a school or something like and all?
Yes, we can do a Lions Club project with the biocomposters. Definitely. That'll be amazing.
Thank you, Jogi Ben, for inviting us. Thank you, Veena ji.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you
Mr.
so
Ram.
much.
Thank you, Monisha.
LinkedIn podcast